And we are live here in beautiful London, one of my favorite places. I love London. I'm sitting here with Nicolas Ryan-Schreiber. He is. We were also just both talking about how wonderful of a place he is. So, Nicolas, you're here. We're at the London Blockchain Conference, right in the heart of London. This is a BSV Bitcoin conference. So, tell me a little bit about what you're doing here and what your company is doing in the space.
Yeah, so I'm here. My company is Time, just spelled AYM, and we are doing ordinals, an ordinals marketplace on BSV. And the world by storm in January when Domo found a way to put JPEGs on BTC by making these colored coins. And then BRC20 tokens took off in March, and then they've expanded now to Doge, and to Litecoin, and to BSV. So all the proof of work chains are now using the same standard for tokens.
Well, it's pretty cool. You were talking about that, and I do want to revisit that. But let's talk about BRC20 for a second, because you can tell I haven't done this in a few days. I was supposed to be doing this for days. All right, you're going to hear us a lot better now. So BRC20, I'm sitting there in different places, and people are like, "Hey, what about building on BRC20? Like that's kind of the new buzz term, right? We have all these Bitcoin whales and BRC20 building on it and everything like that. So how is it building on BRC20? Is it different than building on something else? And what would you say for somebody that's thinking about doing it?
Okay, so first of all, BRC20 is on BTC. Then there's DRC20 on Doge, and LRC20 and BSV20. So all the proof of work chains have their own version of the BRC20, the original ERC20. How is it building on it? Well, the token protocol is incredibly simple. If you're building on BTC, then there's not much you can do. The main players are Unisat and Magic Eden and OrdSwap on BTC. And then if you're building on BSV, then there's a lot more you can do because BSV has much more advanced smart contract functionality. BTC has basically no smart contract functionality. So, and neither does Doge or Litecoin. So if you want just simple tokens, you can do it on BTC and it works and there's a large audience. If you want more complex and interesting tokens or larger file size, then people do it on BSV. You can't have a high quality image on BTC. You can't have high quality image on Doge really. So BSV, or you can't put a video as an ordinal on BTC. That's way too much data. BTC can't handle it. So instead people use BSV because it can handle large amounts of data very cheaply.
Interesting. So, I know you're not the BSV guy, but how does that scale? How much data can they put in there?
On BSV?
Yeah.
Basically infinite. Right now the block size is 4,000 times the size of a BTC block. So instead of 1 megabyte, it's 4 gigabytes. And the benefit of that is not, it's just that you can put so much more information. You can put large videos, HD images, 3D objects, which unless you want a tiny JPEG, then you need a scalable blockchain. So yeah. that's why IME is built on BSV. It's not because we have some obsession with BSV. It's more just because we wanted to put high quality images, specifically AI-generated images, these beautiful Mid-Journey images, and we tried to put them on BTC, but it was way too expensive.
Yeah.
And so we wanted at scale, we needed to go to BSV, and it just has worked fantastic.
That's amazing. So let's talk a little bit about IME. How long have you guys been in business? And what is your target here? What is your goal here?
So, yeah, we've been in business since October. We started in October, and the platform has been up since March. February was the beta, now it's live. And our goal is that we are a marketplace for all sorts of different assets. So sometimes it's JPEGs and NFT collections, which people call NFTs on ordinals artifacts.
Yeah.
So we use the word artifact instead of token. So it's either artifacts, which are images or videos or JPEGs, all sorts of artifact collections. And then tokens such as BSV20s which could be any generic token that people set up. And then also we're adding DNS type tokens. So for example, you could have your username or your URL for your website be a token on BSV.
Yep.
So people on BTC are using .sats. So they'll say like Bruce.sats, and then you own the name Bruce.sats.
Right.
And on BSV, we're using different ones, but it's the same idea. So instead of Bruce.com, you got Bruce.sats or Bruce.1sat.
That's awesome. So very cool. And then what's your goal here?
At the conference?
Yeah.
The goal is to meet with other people building awesome things on BSV, and we are integrating with wallet partners, and we are, spreading the word, because we are also uniting everyone all around the ordinals protocol.
Right.
Because there's all these different token protocols that people had used in the past that weren't very good, and now the ordinals token protocol is much better, and a lot of people really like it.
So yeah, talk about
sure
that. You touched about it. So there's actually, and even now as you say it again, I'm getting a better picture of it. So now there's an ordinals token. Is that right?
So it's an ordinals protocol, and it shows, and the protocol is the way that you would make, an ordinals token.
Okay.
But the token is actually a Satoshi.
Right.
So it's called a colored coin, which is a concept that's been in Bitcoin since 2012 or 2011. It's a very old concept, which is basically you take a Satoshi, of which there are 2.1 quadrillion, and you put data on the actual Satoshi.
Right.
And then that identifies the Satoshi and turns it into a identifiable token.
Right.
So, and then when you index the token, when you're referencing that Satoshi, everyone can see, oh, it's not just a blank coin with nothing on it. It's a coin with a very specific marker that says that it is a JPEG, like the actual image is on the coin.
Right.
So you take so if, for example, we're talking about image NFTs, you take the image and you throw it on the Satoshi. So it's on the actual Satoshi.
Right.
Which is pretty amazing. And that's why it's called an artifact, because it becomes it's like an ancient Greek coin, which has the image of whatever, the Greek.
It's cool. Yeah, it's cool. It's something that we've talked about. I know I mentioned it to you, doing with our old chain as well. It's interesting, and actually, Craig Wright, say whatever you want about the guy. He was always saying that all Satoshis are non-fungible, and in fact, he's correct.
Yes. So colored coins, it's exactly it. So colored coins has turned Satoshis from a fungible asset to a non-fungible asset.
Right.
Because now every single Satoshi that has some inscription on it, and it becomes an artifact, is now non-fungible, because no other Satoshi has the same inscription. And even if you were to put the same amount of data, the same data on a different Satoshi, it's a different date, it's a different Satoshi, it's not the same.
It's pretty interesting. Really, guys, it's turning the whole space upside down. I don't know if you've been keeping up, but if you wanted to send a Bitcoin a few weeks ago, mainnet Bitcoin, it was hard. Things were clogged up. People were predicting the price was going to crash. I told them it was going to be fine. But it's pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I mean, basically, there are lots of fun things that you can do on BTC, BRC20, and BTC ordinals. And I play around on there. I think it's great.
Yeah.
But if you want higher quality images, or you want cheaper transaction fees, or you want videos, or you want cheaper tokens, like there's all sorts of reasons to look at BSV. And so I am constantly using both.
Sure.
Because they have their own utility. I mean,
they have their own utility. Yeah.
They're both great, and so it's nice to see that people are using both. A lot of people now. Before, people were really in different camps.
Oh man.
As you know, it was rough. Now what's really cool is people are starting to be like, okay, BTC is good for certain things. BSV is good for other things.
Yeah.
And so people are moving back and forth a lot more.
Interesting. So how do people find you? What's the website, social media?
Yeah, so the website is aym.world, aym.world.
Okay.
And on social media, we're on Twitter, and it's aym radiant.
Awesome. I'm ready. And then real quick, one last question that kind of came to my mind. So someone comes to your website, they make an ordinal, right?
Yeah, you would need a BSV wallet where you can.
Right. And you make an ordinal, and then where do they sell them if they want to sell them?
Well, they're selling it on our website.
On your website. That was my question. You are the marketplace.
We are the marketplace, yes.
Perfect. Yeah. All right. Well, check it out, guys. Nicola, thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Bruce.
I appreciate it. We'll see you soon.